Hello, friends. It's been forever and a day. Welcome back to the Artist Within podcast. I'm your host, Adela Hittel, and this is episode 32. And happy birthday to to the podcast and to the Artist Within. It's our 1 year anniversary. It just happened a few days ago, and I'll explain why I am just now able to be back on to talk to you guys about everything in just a second. But I'm back, and I'm very, very, very excited to be back and to share with you this last couple of months. Let me just tell you, the only way I can title this and I can say this is that I've actually thought about this episode, which is insane for me because I have key points to talk about. I know what I want to talk to you guys about most of the time and who I'm talking to you. And so it's different every time. This one, I've kind of thought it through, which is great. So you'll have to let me know how this one goes. But here's where we're at. Today is Friday, July 18th, and it is actually the evening time that I'm getting the opportunity to record this. It's been an extremely busy last couple of months. And like I said, the only way I can label this, name this, and this podcast name is Welp. That was fun. Staying strong in faith during challenges. And I have notes here. This is my little notepad. I have had to write my notes down because it's been overwhelming on my end in so many ways, in shapes and forms, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. However, I'm extremely grateful and thankful. And I can't wait to share with you all the good things that have come out of all the challenges. So let's get into it. Pardon me. Let's get into it. Here's what we're going to talk about today. I want to first and foremost start the episode a little bit differently. I want to start it off with a little thank you prayer. Because if there's anything that has kept me grounded this last couple of months has been the daily thank yous. It's a reminder of what I do have, what's in front of me, what I can control, how I can navigate, and in which shape and form I can move forward with my life despite the challenges. So I hope that you'll join me in a little thank you prayer. I hope that you will take this and change it and adapt it maybe and potentially into a way that fits your life, fits your narrative, if it does. And if it doesn't, that's okay. But I do want you to start looking at your life and seeing what you're thankful for, not just grateful for. We can be grateful for so many things. I'm grateful for everything. And I can say that. But there's a power in saying thank you to whatever you believe in, to whatever it is, but thank you for something. And that daily practice for me has absolutely kept me sane, like I said, kept me spiritually strong, mentally strong, and now I want to share it with you. Ow, that happens too. I've become a little more clumsier since my accident, just a little bit. Anyway, so let's start this little thank you prayer. The way I started off every morning, my day is I actually write it out, and because it's important for me to etch it into writing and then be able to think about it throughout the day. So this is now memorized and pitched into my brain because of the writing. So I encourage you to write. Thank you, God. Thank you for my breath. Thank you for this body, this temple that houses the Holy Spirit that allows me to move through my day. Thank you for these feet that carry me in every shape and form where I walk. Thank you for these hands that allow me to write this out or speak this or create everything that I'm creating with them. Thank you for my family, my husband, my son, my dogs. Thank you for my home, the structure that you have taught me that I needed to invest in, create in, build in with my hands, to be present in. Thank you for every single human who has come into my life, one way or another, in any shape or form, and has taught me how to become a stable structure that I am today. And then thank you for those that are here now, that are here to serve in your mission and in your guidance as I am with you. Thank you for Project Human, because you put that in my life and you put that in my vision when I didn't even know that I needed something bigger than me. And when I was at my lowest, you were always there, as you always will be. So thank you for everything, literally everything that encompasses me. Thank you. Amen. So that's my prayer. Now it's a little bit more summarized to keep it a little bit shorter than I would do in my ritual, because I have an hour ritual that I do every day to go through this process of a thank you. And I list even more mundane details of my thank you, like thank you to my organs, thank you to everything, right? And the reason the thank you is important in that conversation, and when you speak that thank you, is because it is a powerful, positive, uplifting, joyful, gratitude-filled feeling that encompasses your cells. And that's what your cells need when there's so much negativity around us and so much overstimulation that stresses us out, that puts us in an anxious state, that debilitates us in so many ways when we can't understand and process things. So how do you navigate it? And for me, that thank you has been a lifesaver, and obviously it's brought me closer to my faith and closer to God. And so whatever you believe in, wherever you're at, I would encourage you to start looking at what you can thank, whoever, whatever, for you, but be thankful for what you do have, and your body and your mind. And even in the state that it may not be where you want it to, you also say thank you for the challenge. For example, my car accident. Okay, guys. Okay. You guys got the whole good, calm, peaceful, okay, Adela in that moment, which is great. But let me tell you the challenge of this car accident that it has been. I can't tell you the details of it at all yet, because I'm still in litigation with it and dealing with a whole lot of stuff. However, what I can say is that the day that it happened, I did look up and say, God, whatever you got in store for me, it better be better than this. And thank you for what, and I had told him in my prayer, just a couple of days prior, I said, thank you for everything. Thank you for the great things, and thank you for all the challenges, past, present, future, in every shape or form, because they're part of this existence. And just as the challenge, so is the joy and the overcoming and the peace and the achievement, and I'm ready for it. And boy, did that deliver. And so when that happened, thankfully, I'm not too badly hurt. Everything is working out so fine so far, with a lot of stuff, minor a few things here and there. Again, can't discuss all the little stuff, but it has absolutely tested my faith, not only in God, in some ways, because it's corely, like I'm core. There's just no, like, I know it's everything's good. It's done. Like, it's done. But it's tested my faith in some ways, because it's challenged me through the system, and it's challenged me through this organization, and it's challenged me in a ways on how am I going to stand up for myself and advocate for myself in places and spaces that I have not necessarily, I have been advocating for the last 3-4 years of myself through my medical journey, right? I really have, just making sure that getting my body and getting my A++ certifications in my health has been like my number one priority. And I have it, and I've maintained it for almost 3 years, and it's been like freaking amazing for everything, right? And then this happens, and it slows me down even more, but on a different level. And so my faith in the system, because I have faith in humanity, I do. It's just, I love you guys, and I love humans, and I believe that we have the capacity to change and the capacity to evolve and grow and learn and educate ourselves, as I am proof. It is extremely disappointing when it fails you in a way that, again, this is why it can't be full faith, but I'm human, and so having that capacity to have that grace with human beings is kind of what it's part of who I am. And in this system, that's not what they have towards the patient. And so the challenge in this car accident has been advocating for myself on the patient care, because the system does not care. And I remember sitting in the doctor's office, and I'll tell you about that when I can, the full story. But I remember sitting in the doctor's office, and this thought came through my head when the challenge was presented at the level that it was presented, and I had to literally breathe and go, are you kidding me? This is insanity. And the piece and the voice that came through was, well, you asked to advocate, to inform and educate. It's what you stand for. It's what you said. Who better to advocate for if not yourself right now? And if you can't walk the steps through this process now to understand what's really happening, how are you going to be of service to others? Like, I seriously was sitting there with that, and I just, when that clarity comes in, and that articulately, it's not me. And when I can memorize it, it's not me. And so I listen and I go, you're right. Absolutely. And so I remember pulling my glasses down, and all I can say is this. The doctor said to me, Adela, I have notes, and this is what this says. And me being me, I pulled my glasses down and I said, I have PDFs. It's what I do for a living. I'm the PDF queen. I win. And from that moment, it's been a fight. But let me tell you something. That's part of advocating for yourself, is having the accountability and responsibility to go back and check your own records. So what I can tell you, and that I've learned through this process, is that you have to be diligent in going and requesting your records and checking them, and ensuring that what you asked for and talked about and discussed in the meeting that you were with, in your consultation, in your patient care with your doctor, is exactly what that was. And it's not what they took upon themselves to notate in a way that they thought was best for you. That's not how that works. So that was one big major flag that I had to have a hurdle over, and the communication in that. So you need to make sure that you can call your insurance, get your bills, get your itemized list, check them out, look at that, make sure it matches. Make sure that what you went to and what you experienced and the care that you received is equivalent to what they're charging, because it's not. I'll tell you that. And don't, it's very scary. It is very scary to have to say, like, this, I need this, and to start over again, because it prolonged my care. I'm having to restart my physical therapy. I've had to restart it. I've had to pay out of pocket. I've had to be challenged in so many different ways, because nobody was listening to me, what I needed for my body, what I needed for my mind. I know myself. I've worked really, really hard to understand how I function, how I move, what my body wants, what makes me the most optimal human that I can be in my space and time and place with the resources that I have available, right? That does not mean I cannot improve and will not improve. That's the whole point of this. But in this space and place, it's my responsibility. And I've worked really hard to get to that level. And so when she said, Adela, I take notes, and I said, girl, I do PDFs. You out your mind. And I had to spend 8 hours going through highlightings. I mean, I have my own folder. Adela has her own PDF file, a 15-page PDF file of my own self. And then I have my own a big old binder of every note, every detail. And I checked every word that was written in there. And if it was not what I know we had discussed, to me, that goes in against good faith, against the ethics of you as a doctor, for you to take it and improvise what I had described to you or what I had told to you. And it's just so many different ways. And so it was definitely a challenge, but I sat there and I did that, and it took time, and it was scary, and it was just, are you kidding me? Because I didn't have the time. And y'all know about me and my time. I'm everything structured. My calendar, that's my big ass calendar behind me, you guys. It's a full year calendar, and as much detail as I can, and as many things as I can navigate and work into the life again for what I want, I'm doing. And to have this come in and take away almost half of that time, if not more, really has been challenging for me. But again, the plus sides of this is that it has taught me how to stand up and speak for myself in the appropriate way, what to ask for, how to ask for it, why it matters that I ask, and that I hold them accountable for the words that they say and the language that they use and the way that they treat the patient. And why it's important for you in your own self, even if it means that you have to seek care out of pocket and seek care out of the system, you do that for yourself. Because if I had stayed in any longer than what I had in the care that I was in, the damage that might have been to my shoulder or to some other things compared to the care that I decided to take upon myself because I know my body might have been irreversible in some spaces. And that's like sucks because I would have listened to experts, right? And then again, I'm not a medical expert. I'm none of that. You guys know, we're just experienced. But the trust between that and the care is just not there. And it really was another affirmation of why it is so important to have the conversations about accountability, responsibility of words, of actions, of behaviors, not only of yourself, because when they tell you you're crazy and they try to gaslight you and they try to blame everything else other than themselves for not doing their job and being responsible for the things that they were responsible for, you get to put that PDF and say, not today. I know me. I know how hard I've worked. I know what I've done. Here's my steps. Where are yours? Give me yours. Correct me where I'm wrong. And we'll go back and forth. It is called a conversation and a discussion and a debate if you want it. But it is a back and forth to figure out the truth. You are not wrong when you go in and you state your things, state your feelings, state your facts, state your symptoms, state whatever it is that you're going through. And when you come out feeling as if you were not listened to or the words were twisted or pushed, rushed, and absolutely not cared for, it is just not okay. It is just not okay. And so you have to hold them accountable, say, no, this is my time. I'm here. Talk to me. This does not work. I want a second. This is not it. Change the person. This is not it. Absolutely not. That does not make you an inconvenience. That does not make you annoying. That does not make you a high maintenance diva, whatever they might put or label you might put on yourself. It makes you a responsible and accountable human being for yourself because no one else is there to advocate for you. And then when they charge you upteen amounts of money that you don't have, or your insurance, or put you through a thing that binds you or puts you in a position in which you are not capable to get out of right away, or scares you, that causes you anxiety because you don't understand what's going on, and then you're told you have to do this thing at that cost for this many times, and you go, what the hell and how? No, that's not okay. That is not okay. It is a scam. I'm allowed to say that. I have receipts. My lawyer said so. I just can't speak on all the stuff yet, but it is a scam. It is a fraud. And if you don't advocate for yourself, if you don't stand up for yourself, if you don't look at the records of what you're doing and how you're moving and know yourself to the level that no one else will, so when they challenge you on it, and you've spent enough time that you can understand behaviors and patterns, and you can see where their actions are not meeting their words, or their behaviors are not meeting any, there's just no consistency, no decency or compassion, you get to stand up for yourself and fight for yourself. And so that's what it's taught me in that. And it really has solidified the need for Project Human in a way that I didn't know even more so, because this is what it's for, to start the conversation. And if there's one thing that I've been told is, Adela, you're paying me money to talk. And I said, you know what, girl? I could talk for free. So here I am, talking for free. So let's talk. Let's communicate. Let's conversate. Let's not be afraid to say that this is wrong. I don't get the care that I needed. It was not appropriate. And this is an obscene amount of money. And this is just asinine. Those were my words. It's just ridiculous. So you want to ensure that you are, number one, you have something that's going to ground you during those challenging times. Again, mine was the thank you prayer. And of course, a few of my humans around me whom I can't thank enough just for being around me in that time that I've needed. But the thank you prayer and God have been my go-to number one, because it always centers me what I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for the challenge because I'm breathing, because I have my body, I have the capacity, I have the ability. I can. So I will, and I do. It is done. And when I do it that way, whatever the process is, how, when, where, it doesn't matter. It just is. It is done. And it really boosts more confidence in me and what I'm doing. And so that's part of where I'm really so thankful for the challenge, and that's what's kept me going through here. And the other part is it gave me the idea to even become more of a nuisance and a loudmouth about everything. Why? Because why not? Everybody's screaming so much bullshit everywhere about everything, but not about the things that matter, that will change and impact your daily life, like the system and the things that are around you, that the laws that are changed, the bills that are passed on the local level, or just that impact your daily living when you're in a certain situation. Again, I knew that, and I've been fighting for it on a smaller level in different ways, but this accident was like, if there's not one thing you're good at is being loud, Adela, you're not being loud enough right now. And I had to silence myself, but here I am, I'm back, I'm being loud. So I want to encourage you to be loud for yourself, okay? Stand up for your voice. That doesn't mean belligerence. That doesn't mean violence. That doesn't mean unkindness. And that does not mean not being nice or in any shape. I'm not nice. I'm just saying that. It doesn't mean that. Don't follow that part of it. But it doesn't mean that. It means that you stand strong in your conviction, in your fact of existence, in the way you move, in the way you process, in the way you function, in the results you achieve every single day in your life, for the reality that you've set forth, that you know is possible and capable, with being accountable for yourself and your body and your mind and doing all the good things. And then now the system is going to tell you, absolutely not, we're going to screw you because we can. No, it's not how that works. So I believe in we the people. Okay, I really believe in we the humans. And I don't mean just in the constitutional way, in the way that it's written. I don't mean just that, but like, it is what inspired the level of faith I have in we the humans. When we can gather for the worst of tragedies, for the worst of things that are happening, and we can have these moments, let's look at and unite for some great things that we have, and let's have these conversations in spaces and places and with the resources we have, and make the changes that are absolutely possible today, encourage them to be acted upon, because we can, and we stop being lazy. You get so many things done. You improve people's lives. You make an impact in the community, and efficiency is really the necessity. But we can't be efficient in any way for the community unless we're efficient in ourselves. And so I really want to encourage you to start thinking about that and looking at your life and the level of impact you have with the way you move, and how you can start advocating for you in that way. And again, in order to become a fully informed and educated advocate, you have to inform yourself of where you're at in your state of existence, in your state of being. You have to educate yourself on what that means for you, define and redefine your narrative of existence and what you've known before, what you don't know, what you might want to know, what you think you know, what you've created in your mind. Shatter it all, and then reframe it, redefine it, and start your narrative in a form and shape and in an existence that's solid to you. No one else, to you. And that's what I've had to do, and that's why I'm so much more confident in articulate, for those of you who followed me for a long time. Thank you for every human who's given me advice, given me support, and given me in any shape or form, or however our relationships may have ended, good, bad, whatever, or paused for a second, because we revisit whatever the situation may be. The thing I've learned is that everything out of that was so good because it kept me going here. It kept me building. It kept me creating and understanding and learning about myself. So for all the things that somebody would consider negative about me, or you might consider negative about yourself, you look at it and go, okay, well, how can I make it great? What about it is so bad? Let me test it out this way and this way, and let me move this way. Okay, well, maybe it's not so bad this way. Adela, it's not really that bad if you're honest. It's just not. It's not that bad if you're organized and you like structure. It's not. It's not that bad if you've got a really, really high energy and you see world in a different way. It's really not that bad if you foresee the capacity of humanity to be bigger than what it is and the average person can't see it around you. It's not that bad that no one around can see your value, but you feel it and you see it and you can. It's not that bad. Because at the end of the day, you have to see you and you have to push through. No one cares about what's happening. No one cares that I'm in therapy once a week for 3 hours in an excruciating level of deep tissue manipulation just so that I can get my mobility back. No one cares. But you care when you see me doing all the good stuff and you see me pushing forward. So when you're in that time where no one cares, and again, not that I share those things. I'm not one of those that shares all my personal things and the struggle I go through. I share how it feels to go through that, right? I share that it's challenging and I share that it's deeply painful. Like, okay, first of all, for those of you who get sports massages and deep tissue like things, whatever, I've had to get deep tissues to maintain my body for the last 3.5 years, and they've been pleasant, for the most part, not, unpleasant. I've learned to really enjoy them and go through them. This, however, I cry through my sessions like nobody's business and just like, it's insane. It's insane. However, every time I'm going through it, the thing I'm going through, it's worth the effort afterwards. It's worth the care afterwards. And I promise you, my therapist, who is so phenomenal, shout out to Angie Smith at Salt Spa St. Augustine. Shout out to the whole team there. They're just phenomenal. They've taken care of me for the last 3 years now in a way that most people wouldn't think to, and listened to my needs, which is great. Because again, I'm not there to get massages. I'm not there to feel good. I'm there to process and understand and make my body even more efficient. And what I found out, this works. My muscle movement and manipulation and distortion is just, it works for me because, well, I have hypermobility and, the stored cortisol trauma and the just releasing everything. It just would be. There's nothing muscular or, in bone structural that's wrong. So if the maintenance of the body needs to be in the muscles, and the muscles are what goes weak, then again, that's why working out and moving forward and moving is just so important. And I realized that that's what I needed, and it makes me feel better. It makes my life better. It makes me mentally stronger and physically stronger. And so I do it. But this, boys, painful. Okay, painful. Again, I'm a beast because I want to win, because I've already won. I've won the lottery of life, right? I've won this ticket. I'm breathing now for like the upteenth time. This first survived a whole war and survived a whole epic life, survived the society of America and culture and downfall of not being worthy, survived a car accident now, I'm sure survived multiple other things. Just, are you kidding me? How lucky and fortunate can I be? And so when I look at my life and continue to look at my life that way, it doesn't matter. Nothing matters other than what I can do today and how I can be the best version of myself. And because of that, I can provide the value not only to what's most important to me, my family, the structure of this home that I've had to build, because without that, I wouldn't have anything else. I wouldn't have the structure within me, which is something I've searched for. But then I wouldn't have the ability to provide you the structure of Project Human, the structure of everything that we're doing with the organization, with the documentary, with our monthly community conversations with just everything. And that makes me really, really proud of myself. And it makes me really excited for the future. And again, excited for the challenges of the future. Why not? Why not? If, again, being told no, being told you're too much. Okay, yes. Great, awesome. I love it. I love it. Yes, I love it. And then every time you want to say this is hard, or I hate this, or I don't like this, you go, it loves me. It loves me so much that it wants to give me attention. Fine, I'll give it attention. I will give it attention by being the best version of me. I will give it attention by succeeding, by loving, by being compassionate, by being kind. I will give it attention if it seeks my attention. But be the best version of you in that space. And again, this process is solidified just these last couple of months, and having to push through and navigate this and experience some different levels of pains that I haven't experienced before. It solidifies some things. It solidifies different perspectives, and it can push you into a even more grounded navigation of your life that no matter what, it can't be shaken. And that's something I'm really, really proud of, and I'm really, really excited about. So that was my accident, if you will, issue, process, and things that I'm still working through, again, in just minor detail, but I will be talking about that in detail when I'm allowed to. I was told I needed not to, and you know me, I have to be told what to do sometimes. Otherwise, I just got to say my piece, and I really want to say my piece, but I'm not going to say my piece that way. I said my piece this way. So again, hold others responsible and accountable by starting to hold yourself accountable and responsible first. They're an oiled machine. You're not. I wasn't. I am now. Getting better, even better oil, even better parts, better things. Absolutely, you get better. You become more certified, more confident, and then you can be a bigger nuisance. Make bigger changes. Advocate in bigger spaces. And see the change that you wish to see in the world, because you become that. And that's pretty epic. That's pretty epic. Speaking of that, and moving forward, I lost a lot of time during this process, and I've had to play catch up, even though there's no way to catch up to anything. So many things of Project Human that I have desired and wanted and hoped for are still happening because I'm a beast and my team's a beast and we're beasts and we believe in this mission. So it's happening. I know, it's so many exciting things. You see how my whole existence pepped up just at the idea of this. I should have started with this, but I had to get that out of the way because that was just depressing to me, and it has been depressing and in so many ways. But this is exciting. Okay. So let's talk about Project Human and a few other things about what we got going on. I want to take you really quick to our section, to our website for a second. Please go to our website and check it out. If you haven't been on there in a while, it's okay, but I'd love for you to go see it. We've got some changes coming up, and even more changes over this next couple of days, which is so exciting. But one of the bigger changes that we have is that you can find our month's events or upcoming events right there on our website, on our page, and you can RSVP for any upcoming events on our monthly community conversation, where we invite you to conversate with us and share with us as we share with you what the importance of our topic of the month is. For example, this upcoming one is the importance of community on July 24th. And that's really exciting because as we're moving forward, again, Project Human, our whole mission is to bridge the gap between not only ourselves first and foremost in all the spaces and places and shapes and forms that are necessary, and that takes time. But now as we move forward, to also bridge those gaps with the resources and the capacities and the abilities of our community, and see what we have in here and see how we can make the most impactful changes with what we have now. Because there are so many great organizations out there. There's so many great resources out there. There's so many things happening. but we don't have as a community on that. As I call myself a common folk person, as I didn't know how to navigate it. I didn't know who to talk to, where to go, what to do, why it should be done, why it was important. And so with these conversations, our whole goal is to bring you that as much information and educate you as much so that you have the capacity to advocate on all of those things for yourself and, of course, anything else you believe in. So please definitely register. You can go in there, register for any upcoming. We have a whole year scheduled for our monthly community conversations, and we're updating a lot of this stuff. So as you can see here, it's still continued, but we're updating that. So again, updating, a lot of things are happening. I lost a lot of time due to the accident, but I've got a lot of stuff I've done because I can catch up. I've learned how to do it. I've learned how to gain myself some time while still maintaining what's important to me and taking care of my 40 inches because it's important. And you know how that you do that? Through conversation, I promise. The other thing that's happening that's a really, really big thing and a really big event for us that's happening on July 26th, the much awaited and anticipated to first look at the documentary for Define the Narrative. Sorry, I'm working on this right now in both two things at once. So bear with me as I am pausing in my moments. So it is an online event, 12 to 3 p.m. And I'm really excited to share this with you guys because, as I said, it is a almost 7 year in the process of working on this, from like an initial portion to the idea, to the conception, to the conversation, to the actual work, to more work, to change, to now finally coming up with this pot of something that we have that's pretty emotionally driven and epic. Because one of the great things that I've realized I have a capacity for is to be honest as much as possible. I'm not saying I haven't made my mistakes, that I'm not saying that I haven't said things or done things that were wrong, that I haven't been honest in the past or whatever it was. But the thing that I've learned about my life and the things that I want in my life is to be as light as possible. And to be light is to be truth. And to be honest, you have to be honest with yourself, no matter how deeply you have to go to look at that. And that's what this documentary to me is about. And I didn't realize how much of that I was doing, even though I was wanting to shift the focus on everyone else, which was insane. And I'm so glad I did, though, because we've got so many stories. We've got so many things that we were able to capture from the community. The involvement of the community, you guys. Okay, first of all, thank you to every single human who ever showed up of every single one of my sets. Any one of my sets, from Rebirth Project to the very first fashion show ever Project Human hosted, to the Rebirth Project, to the Checkmate Project, to the very first community, group interview we had in our one-on-ones, to the second one, to anything else in between, to just the most recent one. Thank you for showing up. Because if it wasn't for you showing up, I wouldn't have been able to grow through these processes, through these projects, through these experiences. And I wouldn't have been able to prove how important the ability to walk through art is in our space and time for our existence, for our mental health, for our emotional health. I wouldn't have been able to show you that if you didn't show up to my crazy ideas, or even when they didn't make sense. So thank you. Thank you so much. And this is what we're going to show you about. I can't wait to share more information with you about that. So what I need you to do is just go register, have that moment, take that moment, register. You can RSVP. There's a couple more things going on in there. Add your details. It's pretty self-explanatory. And I'm really, really excited. So we're doing a lot. We're making a lot of things happen. And I want you to experience it with us and experience the movement with me of joy, of light, of being on the other side of your own existence, in control of your existence. I promise it isn't easy. I promise it isn't something that it's fast. It's not fast. However, it's so worth the effort, because you're worth the effort. And I promise you that effort you put into yourself and through these conversations and through these moments of expressions that you may need or have, it's so worth it. And that's what this documentary is about. What's really, really cool is in once we get into our Define the Narrative um, actual behind the scenes. So if you guys go onto the website too, you can go click on the Define the Narrative, sign up, and you may get exclusive invites to some things coming up. But it's going to be cool because we'll be sharing with you exclusive behind the scenes, never before seen footage. And we haven't been able to share this with you guys ever before. And we also won't be able to share so much until the end of our film circuit, towards the end. But we'll have exclusive behind the scenes content you'll be able to sign up for. And that's really exciting because there's so much and so many humans you'll get to hear from the community, so many stories shared, so many things that I didn't even realize we were capturing. I didn't realize the stories and the voices and the progress of each human's life that you get to see because of one's ability and capacity to express. It's literally the most beautiful transition I've seen. And some of these humans that I've seen on here that have been part of Project Human or part of this experiment of my own, if you will, have flourished and blossomed. It doesn't mean they don't have challenges like we all do in one shape or form, but they've blossomed and flourished in their own confidence, in their own existence, in their own being, and they can see their value and they can see their effort. And again, it doesn't mean they're not challenging, nor that we lose faith, nor that we lose our own way. But the thing that we can do then is go back to what we talked about, is finding your grounding and saying, you know what? I need my little thank you prayer, even in my worst things. What am I thankful for? I'm thankful that someone picked up the phone to have a conversation with me and talk through my process of my experiencing, feeling things. I'm thankful for the shower that's running over me right now, just so that I can feel and connect to the world. You know, I'm thankful, whatever it is, my garden. I'm thankful for this moment to have this conversation with you. Like, whatever it is that is important to you in that moment to ground you, that's kind of how we go back through. And so it's really cool. It's really, really cool. I'm really excited to share with you and for you to see that progression, to see that story. We're still in the process of finishing it. We have still a little while to go before we can share again so much with you. But on Saturday, we get to share with you our very exclusive look, and it's very, very exciting for us, and I'm very excited. So go onto our website, or if you're on our Facebook page, go follow it, which, speaking of Facebook page, do me a huge favor and go to our Facebook page for Project Human and follow us right here. In there, like our page right here. See that like button? I'm making it really big for you to see. Can you see that? Right there. Hit that like button because I really want to grow the channel, not only on YouTube, so hit that YouTube like button to subscribe there, but I want to grow our channel and our website or our social media presence, as I have not had the opportunity to really put a lot of effort into that. And I want that now because I so wholeheartedly believe in this message of what we're doing. And the more we're doing it and the more we are pushing into this and the longer we're in it, the more solid it is. And the more I understand the importance of human connection, the more important it becomes for us to exist in that space. I love technology. I love everything that's happening about everything and all the benefits of all the things. But the one benefit we've lost is the ability to have a one-on-one, eye-to-eye conversation with each other. And so that's what we want to do. So please go like us and then go share with your family and friends and do all that other good stuff. I'd really, really appreciate it. Both YouTube, both the social medias on our Instagram, our Facebooks, Project Human, I knew who to thank. I'm also looking for people. If you guys we need volunteers. So if you want to volunteer, please volunteer with us. You can go onto our Join Us page. Let me pull this up for you really quick and go sign up. That would be great. We could use some awesome leaders. Okay, leaders. This is our virtual kickoff, you guys, happening. We have our quarterly mental health day happening. And then our runway to resilience. We'll be announcing so much more information on that on the 26th too. So please, 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 please be there. Anyway, if you can't, that's okay. Watch us live on YouTube. That's why you got to go and sign up and subscribe so you can get the notifications, right? Anyway, so this is where we're at. These are all the things we have. So join us. Go click on the volunteer form right here. It'll take you straight to our form. It's very easy to fill out. And we will get back with you as soon as possible with that and get you on board with some of our big things that we have going on. And we need volunteers in every shape or form, from the administrative side to production side to staffing side on our event days to everything. And we are looking for humans who are on the same path and mission, who want to create a space and place for humanity to exist and coexist, and to create a space where we as humans can recognize and see the path for us as our own worth, so that we can be of worth and value to others. We're going to miss that connection. Like everything with the world coming together and AI and technology taking over so much of that, the commodity is going to be this, what we're doing. The conversation you and I are having, and the conversation we have one-on-one, and the hug we have with our humans at the grocery store, which that just happened to me, which was so exciting. And I don't know if I'm going to share his name online. I didn't get his permission, but there's a human at Publix, at my local Publix, and today I hand out my little red cards. And our little red cards, I don't have one with me right now because, well, I gave them all out. But our little red cards have a message of affirmation, a word of inspiration, or the other way around, and then our information. And it's really cool because you never know what, they're different inside, so you never know what you're going to get. And it's really amazing to hear people say, I needed this today. This was really something I didn't see in myself until later. Or even with some of them, that will look at it and go, this does not sit with me. This is not at all. And then come back and go, wow, I really needed to sit with this. I needed to think about this, and it makes sense now. And thank you so much. And so that's been great to get that reception. But today was really, really special because I was walking by and getting a few things. I only had very limited time today. I had like about 25 minutes in between work and my doctor's appointments and all the other stuff I had to do. And I ran in to pick up some groceries for the family, and thank God Publix is right next door now. So I picked up groceries. I was picking them up, and this human walks by and calls my name, very timidly at first, and calls my name and says my name twice. And I was like, oh, me, Adela, like me. And he's like, yeah, Project Human. I'm like, yeah, that's me. And they go, you gave me a red card a little while ago. And I was trying to search my memory because, again, I've been handing them out. And that's one of our missions and ways to start the conversation. And I was like, thinking. And I remembered then. I was like, oh, I remember now. But I couldn't remember his name. And so we started talking a little bit. And he was, he said, don't take any offense, but at first I thought you were like a hacker, and I was like, oh no. I just like things looking really, really, really good and really spiffy, and I pretend I'm better than I am. And so it was really cute and funny. And then he goes, I searched you and on YouTube and saw what you do and what your organization does, and thank you. We need this and the human connection. And we just had this moment in conversation. And of course, me being me, I'm like, thank you. You just made my day. Like everything I'm working towards, everything I want to work towards, everything I'm building for is for these moments, for people to be seen and feel and heard and to have this moment. And he goes, I was hesitant to approach you. And I go, oh my God, no, please. Thank you for approaching me, and thank you for telling me and sharing this with me. It made my day. And I, of course, I'm like, can I give you a hug? And that took him a little bit back, and was like, of course. And so I gave him this big hug, and we just hugged for a second. And it was like, that's what this is about. It's that human connection. Is stranger to stranger, is having this moment of humans seeing each other for past everything and just human. And so it just affirmed again and demonstrated in God's way of God's work of just showing me another reason to continue despite, my own moments of feeling unworthy or feeling incapable or feeling as if it doesn't matter sometimes. On the grand scheme of things, it doesn't matter. Nothing I do matters, on the greatest level of things. But on an everyday basic human to human level conversation, connection, everything we interact with, everything we touch, everyone we connect with, it matters. And so it was so cool to be able to have that experience, because again, I love that and we don't have that, and we're just always in our phones and always with this. And so anyway, thank you for that. Thank you, sir. I appreciate it. I really needed that today too. And so that was really, really cool. But yeah, it's why we're doing what we're doing. So if you want to volunteer, if you want to be a part of this organization, or if you want to come and share your expertise and share your vision and your story with us too, just reach out to me, reach out through our forms of communication that we have on our website and on our social medias. And again, right now we're extremely limited on our team and what we're capable of in doing as far as the level of production we can produce and provide you with instant capabilities. However, what we are doing is beyond most organizations and most levels of infrastructure, and I'm extremely proud of that. And I'm just so thankful for my team and for the humans that I have inherited and I have been provided with, who believe in humanity and believe that we are worth the effort of at least a conversation, at least to hold the space and capacity for those in need. So it is extremely humbling and awesome, and it keeps me accountable, and it keeps me moving, and it keeps me on my grind and wanting to succeed and be the best leader I can, not only for the organization but for my team and for my family and for myself, because it's what I'm required, and not a leader in a way that is ruling the world. Okay, no. A leader in what I am born to be is a nurturer, a caregiver, a compassionate human being. That doesn't mean discipline and commitment and strictness and authority don't play a role, and strength don't play a role in who I am in that, because it requires that. But I am a nurturer, and I believe that to be of our existence as women primarily, and we need to be in that space and be strong in that and solid in that stance of how we nurture. And in order to nurture the world back to health, back to healing, back to love and compassion, it starts with us. It starts with the nourishment and the nurturing from within. You are the artist within. You are the creator within. You are the power within. You have the capacity. You are what you desire to see. It starts with you. And I was on the other side, believe me, but here I am. And again, I can't wait to share with you that journey through the documentary, through seeing where I was to where I am now, to the growth and evolution, and to being proof that if you have enough belief, if you have your faith and your strength in that, and you create a solid foundation for yourself with those around you that are there for your existence, not for the advantage of you, but for your existence, you can change everything about your whole physiology, your whole reality, your every fiber of your existence. It can be different. And so I really encourage you to decide you're worth that effort and that work, because we're here to tell you you are. We're here to provide you with a way to show you how to do it. And if you don't believe it, I promise you, I will whoop you into shape, because I've got somebody who is so stubborn. And right now, I promise you, it took us some time, but I win, because God said it is done. Humans are worth the effort. And the only way we can stop the hatred, the death, is to stop it from within. That's the only way to do it. And if we don't start right away and now, it'll never change as fast as we want it to. It will change eventually, because I believe in goodness winning. I believe in the greatness and the power of light. But how fast? So let's unite. And let's make that change. Let's decide we're worth the effort. One way you can do that is by joining me on July 24th for our monthly community conversations at 6:30 p.m. And the other way you can do is by joining us on July 22nd or 26th at 12 p.m. via our Zoom. So you have to register, limited spots available for that. And then you can also stream it, go to or watch it on our YouTube channel. So go subscribe, go love us, go like us. I'd really, 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 really greatly appreciate it. Just know that, again, no matter the challenges you're going through, don't give up on your efforts of what you want to do and keep pushing through. It may feel like you can't do it, but all you have to do is one step at a time, one action at a time, get it done. There's no thought process involved in it. Like, one of the greatest things, I'll tell you this, being back in Christ, like being really in Christ and being in this space of understanding what the word means and what it means to really have full faith. And when I say it is done, it just means it's done. I don't care how, when, where, and who, with, why. Like, it just is done. It's done. Part of having that level of faith is understanding that no matter what you want, no matter how hard it is, no matter how difficult it is, all you have to do is move and check it off and say, okay, it's done. So I have to do the podcast. It's going to take an hour and it's going to do this. Am I going to be perfect at it? Am I going to do this? No, it's not, but it's what I want. It's how I want to do it. So let's get it done, period. And the thing, as I was going back to the thing I thought I learned the most, and the thing I keep getting every time I go, I think, is God tells me, I didn't ask you to think. It's already done. Just do, move. That doesn't mean you don't have to think through the process but to think about your own being and your own, just in your own, like, you have control. There's no thought. That's one of the, to me, every time I start to think about stuff now that is not good for me or that causes me anxiety, just think, it's just switch to the new perspective. I'm not thinking about that. No thought. That thought is not necessary. Good thoughts are just there. It just happens. You just move. It's done. It doesn't matter how. It doesn't matter when. It doesn't matter why. It's done. Good is done. Because guess what? God said good is done. Done is good. So there you go. Also, speaking of done, one of the things that is done is our store is coming out soon too. So look at this. We have one of our mugs. Of course you can't see because it's... There we go. So one of our mugs, a little bit of difference is going to be in there. But one of our water mugs, big ones. This is the 41. I love it. I'm just enjoying it. It's great quality, great stuff. But that's coming out too. Many, many things. So anyway, just wanted to share all those things with you. And again, thank you for being here this whole time in my life and sharing, allowing me to share my journey with you, allowing me to grow with you, allowing me to live with you. It's pretty fantastic. And I can't wait to do more. I can't wait to share more. I can't wait to teach you what I've learned. And hopefully you can find the value in the words that I have in a way that they make sense to you. And if you don't, that's okay. But they make sense to you. And that you can apply them in a way that you create your narrative and you redefine and you change it. And I know that the formulation seems like, oh, well, move where, do what? It doesn't matter. Start moving on the smallest scale. If that means you move and you make your bed every day, you brush your teeth every day, you wash your hair, brush your hair every day. I mean, it's on the smallest scale. You move every day until it becomes a part of your existence, until you become joyful with the moves that you're doing. And if you're not happy with the moves you're doing, change the moves. Repractice, redo them, redefine them. Come up with new moves. New moves. They change things. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to me. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Again, subscribe, like, and do all the good things and great things for us. And I will see you at all the good things that we have coming up. And again, I appreciate your support. You are seriously... I literally love doing what I do because I love telling you how much I believe that you are worth existing. I would not exist if it wasn't for human beings who believed in me, who paused me for a second to have a conversation with me, who thought of me, never met me, but saw something in me to get me to here. I can't tell you how grateful I am for that, because it's those moments, those little seeds that if you decide they're worth watering, they will blossom into something epic. Again, I'm proof of that. And it's pretty epic to see, even for me to even say it the way I'm saying it now. And so I'm just so thankful and so grateful that I have the capacity and the ability to do that and communicate that with you. Anyway, until next time, thank you so much. I will talk to you soon. See you in a while.